They are seemingly helpful. They are quick and easy to do. It is summoner school questions that literally nobody asked me to answer, but I'm going to answer them anyway, hopefully not on a 40-minute video. So we'll start off with one I really, really want to answer. And this guy's name I have no idea how to pronounce, so we'll just upvote him instead. Gold jungler, one of all lanes get behind and steal my camps the entire mid-game. What's the best thing to do? I tend to play strong late-game champs. Well, whatever your name is, guy, it sounds like you already answered your question a little bit. Here's a hint. I tend to play strong late-game champions. One or all lanes get behind. There you go. You kind of answered it. Laners get mad at me for not ganking when I'm level 3 Karthus and they are in a losing matchup, but they still take losing trades or permapush. They are forced out lanes, so instead of being under tower, they steal my camps, and we are all 2 to 4 levels down when we lose the game. It happens all the time. So some people have asked me why the hell I'm answering these questions, because it's already answered in the comments, right? No, there's not answers in the comments. Let's see the answers in the comments that are also useful. And I'm sure these guys are trying to be helpful, but sadly, sometimes the 4 enemies in your team will be harder to handle. Just got to do your best. This is vague and useless. Sorry, it is. This is kind of true, but this is also vague and useless. Either mute all or fight your teammates. No, stupid. So let's give this guy actual advice, which he isn't going to like. He's going to get defensive over this, but he thinks about the game in a very specific way. I know he thinks about the game in a specific way for 2 reasons. One of those reasons is that he thinks about the game exactly like I did when I was gold, which is helpful because it means I can tell him how to not do that. The other reason is there's certain phrases he uses in this post which just make it fucking obvious how this guy thinks about the game. Let's look at them. I play strong late game champs. He's complaining that his team takes losing trades or permapush. He's complaining that his team doesn't wait under the tower so that he can keep farming his jungle and they take his camps, etc. Here's what you've got to understand, man. You are playing the game, funny enough, you're not playing the game with 4 robots. You're playing the game with 4 humans who have no idea who you are. They have no idea what you want or how good you are at the game. They have no idea about you, and frankly, they don't care about you. And you don't care about them either. So you've got to understand that. Now, why do I point this out? Because this post to me sounds like this. And I'm sure he's going to disagree with this. But if he really thinks about it, he'll find it's true. It sounds like this. I go into my games and I pick Karthus jungle. And I'm thinking to myself, if I power farm my jungle and I get strong enough, I can carry the game as long as nobody feeds. Just play under tower, guys. Play it safe, play it chill, play it cool. I'll farm my jungle and then I'll carry. That's what it sounds like to me. And if you want to think like that, it's fine. But you know what you can't do? You can't expect your team to think like that. You cannot expect your team to also want to do that. Think about it this way. You join a ranked lobby and the AD carry hovers Cogmore. And he says, okay, guys, I want to farm, and I want to carry this. Just don't feed, I want to carry this. Mid lane, pick me Galio. Bot lane, pick me Lulu. Pick me some tanks, and just everybody play safe, and I will carry the game. Would you agree? Okay? Even if he didn't ask you what to pick, would you agree to just play passive and play safe and not try and win the game? Of course you wouldn't. Who the fuck is this guy? Why is he telling me that I should play safe? I want to play however I want. I want to try and carry the game, because I don't know who he is, and I don't even know if he's going to carry the game. The same applies to you. Alright, you cannot expect, because these things you're complaining about your team doing, even if you might be right, even if, this guy shouldn't be, trying to trade with a fucking Trundamere when he's playing Kale and he's in, Trundamere has a fucking Noon Quiver. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't be doing that. But you know what? The guy's probably trying to win the fucking game. Now, if he's doing it in the right and wrong way, it's irrelevant. You shouldn't even be caring about that. You should be caring about yourself. But the guy's trying to win the fucking game. That's why he's doing this. You know why the guy's not waiting under his tower? Probably because it sounds like he has multiple losing lanes and an AFK farming Karthus, and he's thinking to himself, I'm going to lose this fucking game. And if I don't do something, I'm going to lose this game. I might as well try and do something. That's why he's not waiting under his tower, okay? If you've seen any of my other videos, anybody who's seen any of my other videos knows that if you have multiple losing lanes, right, and you ask me, what should I do in this situation? We have multiple losing lanes and I'm losing on my lane. You know what I'm not going to tell you to do? Sit under your tower and wait. I'm going to tell you to try and win the game anyway. Go do something aggressive or risky, because you're not going to win the fucking game otherwise. You're not going to learn otherwise. So you cannot expect your team to do this stupid passive bullshit where they sit under the tower and wait for you to farm on Karthus, okay? You just can't. That's number one. Stop expecting your team to do this. It's completely unreasonable, okay? They're trying to win the game, and you cannot fault them for that. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with a team? Okay, he's playing Karthus Trundamere and he's losing his lane. Well, or Kale Trundamere and he's playing aggressive, losing his lane. Well, the other problem I see in this post is you don't seem to understand what it is you're picking, man. Okay? You're playing Karthus. You're not playing Nunu. You're playing Karthus. That has benefits and it has drawbacks. A benefit is you have a very strong late game, okay? And you can get very fed very quickly. You can power farm your jungle pretty fucking fast, and you're pretty efficient in doing so. You know what the drawback is? The map pressure kind of sucks a little bit, and the ganks kind of suck a little bit compared to other junglers. They actually really suck. Let's compare that to Nunu, okay? So the drawback of Karthus is that, your ganks suck. You're going to have much less pressure on the map, and much less ability to help your lanes out, which means that they're more frequently going to lose, right? So the weird thing is you're seemingly surprised that your lanes are losing. Yeah, your lanes are going to lose, man. You're playing Karthus, okay? You're playing Karthus. You shouldn't be complaining about the lanes losing. You're playing Karthus. You know what you do on Karthus? You solo carry the game. You get huge, you play selfish, you solo carry the game. You don't complain about your lanes losing, okay? That's not how it works. It's as if your AD carry has picked Ashe, and he's now complaining that he can't kill tanks very well. Your support has picked Janna, and he's complaining that he can't do enough damage to carry fights. Your mid lane has picked Galio, and he's complaining that he can't match Ryze on the side lane. Of course he can't. He's playing Galio, right? Why are you complaining about that? You picked Galio for fuck's sake. You expected to match the side lane. Same thing with Karthus. You picked Karthus, and you're expecting your lanes not to lose, or you're expecting to be able to help your lanes. Of course you fucking can't. This is the drawback of Karthus. Now, even if you're going to sit here and tell me, actually, I had really good map pressure, and I am ganking, and I am putting pressure on the map. Okay, go play fucking Nunu then. You think if you actually do have good pressure on the map as Karthus, you think if you play Nunu, you're still going to have multiple losing lanes? Of fucking course you won't. That KO, you can gank that KO 15 times, now she's going to win a lane, okay? My point here is you cannot play Karthus and then complain that your lanes are feeding. Of course they're going to fucking feed. You're playing jungle, you have extraordinary ability to carry your team and help their lanes, but you're playing fucking Karthus. So either stop playing Karthus and go play something with more map pressure and actually just carry your fucking lanes, or continue playing Karthus and stop giving a shit that your team's losing the game, okay? Or your team's losing the lane. Of course they're fucking losing their lane. What do you expect? On top of that, if you're... it sounds like you're frequently finding yourself in this situation that your team has losing matchups, multiple losing matchups, one or all losing matchups, right? Why are you playing Karthus then? Why the fuck are you picking Karthus if you have multiple losing matchups in your team? Why? Of course you're going to fucking lose the game. You're picking an AFK farming jungler with multiple losing matchups. Yeah, you're going to lose the fucking game. So what I say to this guy, I don't want to spend any more time on it, is yeah, your team's going to do shit like not standing under the tower. You cannot expect your team to just stand on the tower and do fucking nothing while you play AFK farm Karthus jungle. You can't expect them to do that. And if you do expect them to do that, go play fucking Nunu or something, okay? Either accept that they're going to try and win the game and they're going to play aggressive. Nobody's going to sit there and play passive the whole game. Or play another jungler, okay? That's what I'd say to this guy. Okay, what should I do in order to carry as a top laner? Kindred 9. Hi guys, moved the preseason to try different roles and I found myself enjoying top lane champion. Please specify which champion it is, because I have no idea. Also specify your rank. I have no idea what rank you are. I'm still a noob and I'm learning fundamentals, but every time I win lane, I found myself asking how I should carry. When I play jungle, okay, blah blah blah. Even if I have 15 CS more than the enemy and 2-3 kills ahead, I found myself stuck in my lane, trying to make TP that most of the, I think he meant time, are kind of not worth it, because I lose minions on the tower. Okay. What do you high low player do in order to carry and not lose minion tower? So, whenever I have anyone who wants to learn top lane, or wants to know how to carry on top lane, I always drive this point home. Minion waves, okay? Wave management is so crucial in top lane. Do you know why? It's because top lane has a reputation for being the island, and sometimes it's not the island. It really does depend on the meta. Usually it's when side lanes are very strong and bot lanes are very weak, then it's not the island. But it's the island. People tend to not give a fuck. When I say people, I mean usually mid jungle, tend to not care as much about top lane as they do about bot lane. You know why? If I'm a jungler, suppose I'm a jungler and I know I can get a successful gank anywhere on the map. Do I want to kill 2 people bot lane? Or do I want to kill one person top lane? 2 people bot lane and they get a free dragon and then get bot lane tower, which is easier to kill than top lane tower? Or do I want to kill top lane? I want to kill fucking bot lane. Of course that depends on the matchup of the champions, but in general people give much more of a fuck about bot lane, and the reason why I won't go into is also to do with the fact that supports are really OP. But people tend to love clown fiestering in bot lane. It's just so much better to invest resources in there most of the time, a lot of the time, or even mid lane. People don't care about top lane. Now that has benefits and it has drawbacks, okay? A drawback is that your jungler isn't going to help you as much as maybe he would help bot lane, for example. A drawback is that it's a little bit harder for you to pressure the map because nobody fucking cares about you or what you do. You know what a benefit is? Top lane is a solo lane, right? An advantage of a solo lane is that you get solo XP and you get solo gold, right? And you get 1v1, isolated 1v1 a lot of the time in your lane. However, top lane is a longer lane, and people give less of a fuck about it. And because it's a solo lane, it means that it's very easy to get gold in that lane. But also, it's even easier to get gold, because people don't give a fuck about you, okay? People aren't going to invest as much time into other lanes to stopping you farming, and to stopping you getting tower plates, as they would other lanes, okay? That's the benefit of top lane. That's the benefit of the island. It's the fact that you can get gold and XP very quickly, and oftentimes it's easier to do that uncontested than it is in mid lane or bot lane. That's what you've got to understand about top lane. And that's why I will drive home wave management. It's so crucial you get every goddamn minion in top lane. Because this question here, what do you high low player do in order to carry and not... Okay, I'll ignore the last part. What do you do to carry? You know what you do to carry in top lane? And this takes a lot of forms, split pushing, team fighting, etc. You know how you carry top lane? You abuse the fact that because you're on this island and it's so easy for you to get golden XP, you are so goddamn huge that you're a pain in the ass for everybody in the game to deal with. You're going to go into a team fight, you're going to be the highest level in the game, okay? You're going to have, or at least on par with mid-game, or mid-lane, you're going to be the highest level in the game, okay? You're going to have a lot of gold, you're going to have a lot of items, you're going to be fucking huge, you can threaten a tower, you can team fight, etc. That's how you carry on top lane. And that's a very general answer, but what I need you to understand is everything else in this post and everything you're thinking about right now is irrelevant until you learn this. Because this, you know what this sentence says to me? That you're TPing and you're losing loads of minions under the tower, so it's not even worth it. This sentence says to me you do not understand wave management, okay? So, do yourself a favor, go into a custom game, alright? And be confident, experiment with waves until you're confident enough that at any point you can move the wave and manipulate the wave so that it's wherever you want. Okay, now it's frozen under your tower. Now it's frozen under the enemy tower. Okay, now I've slow pushed 3 waves and I've backed. I've done a cheater recall, etc., etc. You need to be very confident in your wave management. And I want you to look out for red flags. Go through your replays and look out for the following things. Look out for situations where you didn't crash the wave into the tower before backing, where maybe you could have, because that would deny your wave for free, or maybe even multiple waves for free. Situations where you could have slow pushed for free. Situations where, watch my video on freezing. Situations where you were freezing, but there was actually no fucking point in freezing. Situations where it wasn't worth it for you to TP because the wave is here or here. Stuff like, a lot of the time, it probably isn't worth TPing bot for 1 kill, depending on where the wave is. So maybe you need to prep the wave for the TP in advance, etc., etc. It is all about wave management. I have to be vague with my answer somewhat, because there's not much to go for here, or to go from here, and honestly, I'd have to watch a replay to see something like this. If you want that, DM me. But wave management, okay? The number one thing about top lane is just learn to manage the wave. And then when you learn how to manage the wave, you can start actually thinking about matchups and getting tower plates and abusing the fact that you're playing in an island where it's just piss easy to get gold. And it would have also helped if you set the champion, by the way, because if you're playing something like Jax, you can literally just split push. That's how you carry the game. Or if you're playing just some massive teamfight champion like fucking Kenon or something, you can win the game by TP flanking and abusing the fact that you have like 1 million items and you're level 16. So that's how you carry on top lane in a very broad way. It's by abusing the fact that you're on an island and it's really easy for you to get gold. That's how. And also your usage of TP and wave manage is really important too. So this one's super interesting. I have actually read this one, Skelly. How to get more information on what to do, what not to do. So I'll just read the last paragraph, which is what he said to do. So now here comes my problem. For me, Clash and solo queue feel like 2 different games. When I'm in Clash, I play my best, even if I don't play with my usual team. In solo queue, I just don't know what to play when there's no communication, no coordination, not enough pings, etc., etc. Most importantly for me, I have no information about what my team is doing, what their team is doing, and what the hell is going on around me. How do I improve this? So, how do you improve this? So what it sounds like to me is that this guy, he plays Clash, and essentially, he doesn't have a problem with what it is he's doing, and he doesn't even have a problem with what it is he's doing in solo queue. He has a problem that he has no idea what the fuck everyone else is doing, and he has no idea what everyone else wants. Now, I don't know how long you've played the game, but you're playing Clash, so I'm going to assume you've played the game for at least a year. I think it's reasonable, because I would not play Clash with someone who's basically fucking new to the game. I'm going to assume you played the game for at least a year. So, how do you improve at knowing what your team wants? The thing is, you improve with that by just spamming the fucking game. You know what I want you to do? What lane do you play? Did he say what lane he plays? I don't think he did. I want you to go diversify. I want you to go play a shit ton of jungle. Let's say your main top lane. I want you to go play a shit ton of jungle, okay? And actually learn jungle. And I want you to learn mid lane. I want you to learn bot lane. I want you to learn support. Because it sounds like you have no fucking clue how any of the other roles in the game work. You have no clue what they want, okay? And you cannot play any role if you have no idea what the other roles want. If you're playing jungle, you need to know at least some matchups bot lane. If you're playing jungle, you need to know exactly when a Leona wants to engage, because you need to be able to look at that matchup and think, okay, level 4, I think this Leona is going to engage. Or top lane, you need to know, okay, Jax is playing against Fiora, this is a very volatile matchup, so I now need to know both of these guys are going to be playing very aggressive because they know it's a volatile matchup and one of them needs to get ahead, etc., etc. You need to diversify, it sounds like. Now, it's not often. I don't think you're too high elo. I kind of gold at a push, because even gold players have diversified, but there becomes a point where I will tell people they need to start diversifying. They need to start playing other roles because they need to understand what other roles do in order to play their role. If you're a silver jungler, I think often what is going to make you better at jungle isn't just spamming jungle, it's playing other roles to understand what they want. Because when you understand as a jungler what another role wants and what a mid laner wants, what a bot laner wants, your time becomes 10 times more valuable, because you now know, okay, I know if I do this, then I'm going to get more value out of it. Support, for example. You know what made me 10 times better at jungle is playing support, okay? Because I played support and I figured out, you know what? If I get to get my support item early and I get to start roaming early, I can make the enemy jungler's life a goddamn nightmare. I will ward his entire jungle. I will sit there hooking his camps over the wall and pissing him off in his jungle. I'll make the game unplayable for him on Pike, okay? I figured that out, and it made me a way better jungler, because I figured out, oh, look at this, I can just go bot lane, unlock my support, and he's going to do my goddamn job for me. So you need to diversify, because you need to be able to understand what it is other roles want, okay? That's how you improve this, okay? I would also say, maybe, honestly, subconsciously, maybe playing Clash and having this guy telling you what to do has become a little bit of a crutch for you, which is maybe why you're having problem no communication, coordination, pings. The thing is, there is communication, there is coordination, and there is pings, and there is vision. But the problem is you just have no idea what the fuck it is your team wants, so you aren't seeing it, okay? I play the game with chat turned off, and I will think you will find a lot of people play the game with chat turned off. And honestly, I know what it is my team wants 9 times out of 10, because I don't need them to type. I don't need to be in voice comms with them. I don't need to, fucking ping a million times. I know what it is my Jack's top lane wants if he's playing against the Garen. I know he wants a pre-6 gank because he needs it, okay? He doesn't need to tell me that. But you know why I know that? Because I diversified and I play top lane, so I know that, okay? There is communication in your games. You just don't see it because you have no fucking clue what it is these people want. Probably because you're not playing any other roles. Go play other roles. Piss around with matchups. Play extremely aggressive. If you watched any of my other videos, you know what I'm going to say. Play very aggressive. I don't know, play 50 games of every role. Play 50 games of top lane. Just play really aggressive. Pick any champion. It doesn't actually matter. Just play 50 games of the same champion top lane if you haven't played top lane. And play really aggressive. And then you'll start to understand what a top laner wants, etc, etc. You get the point. Okay, so I am hard stuck gold top laner. Any tips? Throwaway X299. Okay, well, throwaway account for this, really. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I watch at least 3 hours of VODs every day. My fucking god. You know what? We'll talk about this a bit more, but stop doing that right now, please. Play 2 champions currently. Keep the CS numbers. Don't flip team fights. It seems impossible to get out. It's like somebody put label on me gold and decided I'll never be able to improve. He's linked to ZoPGG too. So, number 1. Oh wow, 17 comments and nobody's fucking upvoted me. Are you kidding me? Number 1. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. 3 hours of... The thing is, the phrasing he uses here, 3 hours of VODs every day, makes me feel like he's been doing this a while. This is extremely concerning, okay? You're fucking gold. I've already done a video on this in the past. Go watch it. You're gold. Stop watching 3 hours of VODs every day, okay? We'll check his OPGG quickly, because what this post says to me, he's said a few things that make me think this. The fact that he's watched 3 hours of VODs every day, the fact that he's even made this post in the first place, the fact that he says he doesn't flip team fights, and the fact that he says it seems impossible to get out. This post says to me that this guy's plateaued, and he has absolutely no fucking idea what he's doing wrong. No clue at all. I've said this in the past. There's 2 types of things you don't know. There's the things you don't know that you don't know, which is this, and the things that you know that you don't know. If it's the latter, it's so much easier to climb, but it's the former in this case. And if that is the case that you don't know what it is you don't know, which I think it should be fucking obvious it is, why are you watching your VODs? Why the fuck? Watching VODs is for people who know what it is they're doing wrong. You don't. The fact that you're watching at least 3 hours of VODs every fucking day, and you're not improving. What's your win rate? I'm gonna guess 52%. What's your fucking win rate, man? It's 50%. It is 107. 100. It is perfect. Okay. Is the fact that you still have a 50% win rate, right? And you're watching 3 hours of VODs every single fucking day telling to you. Now you might think, actually you do think, indeed you do think, that the reason you're not getting any benefits from these VODs, I'm watching 3 hours of VODs, but I'm not improving. You think that's probably because you're fucking stupid, right? Oh, I'm just fucking stupid. I'm just destined to be a gold player. I can't do it. That's not the reason. The actual reason is because these VODs are fucking worthless to watch because you don't know what it is you're doing wrong. And that's fine. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know the mistakes you're making. In which case, these VODs are fucking worthless. Stop watching these VODs, please. It's such a waste of your time. You have a 50% win rate and you're watching 3 hours of VODs every day. Invest those 3 hours instead into playing the goddamn game because you only have like 200 fucking games this season, man. I don't know if this counts preseason. I don't think it does. But you only have 200 games. I think that is for the whole season. You have like 200 fucking games, man, for Christ's sake, or 214 games. So stop watching these VODs. It is such a fucking waste of your time. Jeez, 3 hours? There's another problem here. And actually, this is perhaps apparent in your PGG. So the fact that you have actually decent CS numbers, much better than, what are you, gold 3? These CS numbers are much better than the average gold player, I think. I mean, they're not incredible, nothing incredible, but they're much better than the average gold player. So the fact that you're still maintaining an only 50% win rate with these CS numbers, you know what that tells me? It tells me that perhaps you're a little bit of a passive player, perhaps. It tells me that you probably have decent wave management, and you probably have a pretty good idea of your matchups, but maybe you don't actually have much of an idea how to carry the fucking game with this. I mean, you're playing the game with a lot of gold, probably way more gold than your fucking teammates, but you still have no idea how to goddamn carry this. You know how you figure that out? Anybody who's literally spent more than 5 minutes watching a single one of my videos knows the answer. Go and play aggressive, man. You know what you do? You do exactly this. You flip a fucking team fight, okay? Go and flip a fucking team fight. Stop caring about winning. You want to be able to improve, then stop giving a fuck about the fact that you're gold, okay? Stop caring about winning, and start caring about improving. Flip team fights. What do you mean you don't flip team fights? I mean, think about this. You're complaining that you've plateaued and that you're not improving, but it seems like you're not actually making an effort to learn about the game. You're just, oh yeah, I don't flip my team fights. I I try to, only play the same thing and the same role and the same champion, blah, blah, blah. Well, how do you expect to improve? How do you expect to learn and improve when you're saying shit like I don't flip team fights? Flip the fucking team fights. Flip the team fight. You know what my favorite pro players are? Hira-san. These people who will flip the whole fucking game. You know why they're so goddamn good? Because they have spent so many fucking games flipping everything. So they actually realize, oh, this isn't a flip. Oh, actually, this is a good idea, all right? You say you don't want to flip the team fight? Flip it. For all you know, this team fight that you thought was a coin flip is actually a hard goddamn fucking stomp. But you will never know that unless you flip it, will you? Lose the game. Flip your lane level 1. Try some stupid aggressive. Try to solo Herald in one of your games. Next game, you're ahead. Go fucking try to solo Herald. Go try really cheese Herald where you get a fucking inhibitor like 20 minutes in the game, okay? Try all this new shit and abandon this, oh, I just want to farm and play really calculated and smart, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you go into your game and you want to play calculated, smart, risk-free. That is not how you improve. That is why you've plateaued. That is why, even though you're watching 3 hours of VODs, you're still 50% win rate. It's because you're watching 3 hours of VODs, but you're not actually thinking about what you could be doing differently. You're thinking about what you could have been doing wrong instead of what you could be doing differently, okay? Start thinking about what you can do that's new, that's different, and stop trying to think, oh, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. Because it sounds like to me, you're doing a lot right. Unlike other gold players, you're probably actually doing a lot right. Like your wave management and your CS is actually pretty good for a gold player. But you have no idea what it is that you should be doing in addition to that. And until you start playing aggressively and you start flipping team fights, you start doing these things, that's going to remain the case. That's why I say to you, go play fucking aggressively, stop caring about your rank, go try a bunch of new shit, and stop spending 3 hours. Don't even watch a single goddamn replay, okay? Because it sounds like you're gaining nothing from it. Spend those 3 hours playing random fucking shit and playing aggressive, okay? That's all the questions we'll do for today, but remember, if you want coaching, I do offer coaching, / VOD reviews, so DM me on Reddit or comment, and I'll hook you up. That's all the questions we'll do for today, but remember, if you want coaching, I do offer coaching, / VOD reviews, so DM me on Reddit or comment, and I'll hook you up.